are the direct-to-consumer channels, digital channels, losing against retail in the next 5 years? I think there's a chance of that happening. And it looks like this. So for the past decade, many of EU-based entrepreneurs, we were designing content, organic or advertising, through digital platforms. And now these platforms are building algorithms that are interest-based, which is of course great for them, but it's definitely not great for us. And I would argue it's not great for the consumer or the user of the platform either, because the algorithm is actually a self-fulfilling, it's in a cycle. So the more you watch the thing that you're addictive to, that you react to, the more it shows this to you. So eventually you end up in a loop. The industry, we are paying through ads, we are paying for all these platforms. So we are provider of the money that makes this spin. But just for example, the reach is like getting lower and lower and lower. And we are forced to play the game of algorithms just in order to stay relevant within our own communities that we've built and sometimes paid for through advertising within those platforms. That is forcing the brands to do things that are not aligned with their core values. So what that inevitably brings is a lot of the content that goes into that loop machine of algorithm to the point where no one trusts that content anymore. So the value is basically gone for everyone. Where does that lead? Where it leads to users deleting the apps. People are spending less and less time. We have the digital detox community or movement, if you will. And as a brand, we also see that retail is back. So in 2020, when COVID was striking Europe and the world, any company that had a strong e-commerce platform and strong advertising and strong social media, at the time it was growing like crazy, including us. How things have changed in 5 years. There's a massive decline in digital and a massive increase in events, in retail is booming. I think it's a self-making of the greedy people at the digital platforms that just, took the reach for granted, took the advertisers for granted forever, and they neglected us to the point where we started building other things. And when I say us, I'm not just saying about companies, I'm also saying about the users of the platforms. I think we will connect more and more, even though there's all this AI and all the avatars and everything that you can do in digital, which is fine, it's a tool. But we are social animals, we need to connect, real life connections and real trust building. Meaning, for a brand, it makes no sense to further invest into creating so much content as it is required for you to get through the algorithms. Come on, that is not about the brand. That is not about serving the final user. That is not about serving our customer. That is just filling the algorithm to self-fulfill itself. I don't know even how to say that. It's just, it goes in cycles. 5 years from now, we are not gonna be talking about, are you online digital first direct to consumer company? Do you use Meta advertising, Google advertising, or anything like that? I think the real brands are gonna be built one by one in direct relationships with their users, their customers. It's gonna be one-on-one, and the value of word of mouth is gonna go through the roof, which means that the brands that actually deliver value, that actually deliver quality, are gonna go through the roof organically without buying their rights under the sun with Mark Zuckerberg or Google or any other of the magnificent 7 US-based companies. All right, here I am. That's That's my company. That's where not that building, we are inside that building. Anyway, until the next time, cheers.